Still doing it. Hello, everybody. It's the pollinator, and it's been a minute since I've done a vlog, and I've been most of my time has been spent learning new things about nonprofits. As many people know, my genre is computers, and I have crossed over into a new area of my life, being an entrepreneur, owning a nonprofit organization that I will talk about on another channel that I have set aside specifically for that purpose. But I just wanted to give everybody a 411 on some of the things that have been happening. This last week, I have been pretty much out of it because I had to flip my hours completely upside down to prepare to do the Landmark Forum this weekend. And I'm absolutely stoked and excited to be doing this again. I have not done it since a year after my mother passed away in 1994. She passed away in 93, and I did the forum again in 94, and that was the end of that story. And just for the occasion, I am taking her with me. This ring that I have on this necklace here was my mother's. My father had it made for her after the 1966 World Series between the St. Louis Cardinals and, God, who were they playing? I don't remember. It's too long ago. I was a child. But anyway, he had this ring made for her, and so I will be taking her. I will be taking her in my spirit when I go do this seminar again this weekend. And I plan on having plenty breakthroughs. And I ran across something that I had forgotten that I learned a long time ago. You know, people think of that seminar in terms of, a lot of people think that, you know, it's a one-time all type of seminar. You do it, you have one to multiple breakthroughs in your life, and yeah, usually if you participate and if you pay real close attention during the seminar, that's exactly what will happen. But then life happens, life goes on, new things crop up. You change, you grow, if you do change and grow. I can't say everybody does that in their lifetime. You know, some people, they just, I don't know, they go their entire lives gaining insights here and there. But I like to go for things that cause a big splash. And and the forum is that for me. That business trained me to be a public speaker, and the things that are possible as a result of doing it, they're very, very long lasting. It's almost like a paradigm shift. If anybody knows what paradigms are, you go into it at one level in your life and you come out of it at a different level, and you have no idea what that's going to be, even if you take agendas to that seminar. When you do it, you just don't know what's going to happen. You have no idea the relationships that are going to be improved. You don't have any idea what life circumstances are going to be improved. You just don't know until you do it, because it's all interactive. Usually between 100 to 200 people are in the room, and there is a very sophisticated technology-based conversation that goes on nonstop from morning to night every day for 3 days. and then you graduate on Tuesday evening. Um, so yeah, I was asked, well, what are you gonna look like when all is said and done? And I said, I have no idea. I cannot tell you. I have done it, I think, a total of 4 times, but then I went on to do other seminars through Landmark, a lot of seminars. And then I did the IFLP, the Introduction to the Forum Leader Program. And I was certified as a public speaker in 1993. Not long before, yes, before my mother passed away. And, interestingly enough, at the same time that was happening, I also had a heart procedure through Stanford Hospital in the Bay Area of California. So, I mean, all sorts of stuff was happening that year. And I survived. I'm here. I survived the heart procedure. I had an extra AV node that made my heartbeats trip out of control and would make me black out because my heart rate was too high. And I think everything in me knows that all happened because of my drug abuse with cocaine. Before I got clean and sober, that somehow it affected my heart. But like I said, I survived, and while I was in recovery from that procedure is when I lost my mom. So you talk about a month of just pure hell, and my birthday was happening the same month. My birthday happened the same month, 2 weeks before she left, and man. So yeah, I'm gonna take her in my heart, and I'm gonna take her on this chain with me to a seminar that changed my life, changed my relationships with people, definitely caused my relationship with my mother to take off. Thank God before she left, we were the best of friends. And she was my heart. She was my number one fan in life. Any and everything that I did, she was there. Well, almost any and everything. But she was the one that no matter who I was, no matter what I was, no matter what I did, she gave me that unconditional love that nobody on this planet has given me since. And, you can't replace your mom. And I know there's a lot of people out there that may or may not have good relationships with their mother, but, people envied the relationship that I had with my mother because of the friendship factor, the respect factor. There's just been nothing in my life that matched that. And when I lost her, there was a hole in my heart the size of the United States. I kept thinking, a lot of people don't like their mom. Why didn't they take somebody's mom who they didn't like? Why gotta have to take mine? But you know what? She's in a better place. She isn't suffering anymore. Breast cancer took her, before the technology changed and gave women a much better chance at survival of that disease. And like that. So, for you, Mom, I love you. I miss you. And but I've got some more exciting news. I don't know if I mentioned in previous vlogs that I was ending my relationship with the best therapist I've ever had in my entire life, but I am. But right towards the end, I do see her one more time, but right towards the end, I was approached by some coordinators inside of the Veterans Administration who have chosen me to train interns coming through this area to train them about transgender men, and perhaps women too. I mean, I am a walking encyclopedia of sorts, and so I will be telling them everything I know about being transgender, but I'll also be able to share what it's like to be a trans man from a black man's experience, which is different than all other ethnicities of people in the United States and maybe around the world. But what's so cool about this, and what I recognized immediately, was that these interns, they'll come into this area to be trained, but they may end up somewhere else in the United States to practice. So this could spread nationwide as far as what I'm going to have to offer these two doctors that are going to be doing this, and then they'll bring me in to do part of the training, the second half of their training of transgender people. So I just got this news last week, and I was so excited. Oh my God! I wanted to tell the world, but I had to change my hours, and for the first couple of days, it was really, really tough because I literally flipped them 12 hours the other direction. Typically, I'm up all night. I get all my best work done at night when everybody else is asleep, but I had to turn them upside down. And so I've been useless all damn week. I've been barely doing anything that I normally do on a regular basis because my body was going through conniptions to change my hours. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. I am sad about leaving this particular therapist, and although well, you see, it was just time. It was just time for me to move on, but she's one of the doctors that is going to be putting on this training for interns coming through the VA. So as soon as I shut that door, God opened another. I mean, that is just exactly how my life is a lot of times, is that when I think I'm going to be bummed out and depressed about something that's going to end or that did end or whatever, he opens another door. But this one was remarkable, because from the probably not long after I began my transition, well, and sometime in 2016, when the VA, when the Pentagon just pushed aside a decision there was a board decision that was coming up on whether they would offer gender confirmation surgery to transgender veterans. They just threw the whole goddamn thing away because Obama was leaving and they didn't know who was coming, but they knew the man who had the plan, who gave us most of the rights that we enjoy today. They knew he was leaving, and so they just scrapped the whole goddamn thing. And when that happened, many transgender veterans freaked out, including me. I was like, oh my God. I was looking forward to having that as an option. I lost my train of thought on where I was going with that, but okay, I just remembered. So ever since they did that, and we all looked around at each other like, how come these cisgender people, these straight folks that are making all these decisions at the upper levels, how come they're not coming to veterans and active duty and asking them who they are. Why are they sitting in meetings making decisions based on the lives of hundreds of thousands of uh, transgender military people without our input? That stunk. That didn't make any sense. And, we all knew what time it was on that. Which, guess what? They do the same goddamn thing about black people in these meetings, about POC in these meetings. Everything that's going on around Cittadini and stuff, they're getting together and making decisions to alter and fucking destroy people's lives without those people's input. They did it during Jim Crow. They've been doing it since they colonized the planet, where they get together and make decisions, and they don't make it based on the people that are going to be affected by them. They just make it hysterical decisions. Get everybody afraid. Get everybody thinking that the cost was way up here when it was really down here, about what it would cost the VA to offer something like that, because not everybody wants to have surgery. Not everybody has them at the same time. Not everybody, some people take longer than others to even want them. I was one of those people. For the first year, it didn't even occur to me to even want to have any kind of gender confirmation surgery. We call it GCS. They still call it SRS because, the medical industry is always going to be somewhat behind the technology. But, they call it sex reassignment surgery. But, see, the RAND study that Cittadini took and decided he was going to go after transgender people with it was full of fucking lies. Not once did they consult with transgender people in the military, active duty, or veterans. So I have been whining, not even whining, but I bring it up pretty consistently that they need to be including us in the conversations, because there are LGBT coordinators inside of a lot of VAs nationwide. I don't know how many, but they're in there, and they are supposedly doing the training for employees of the various facilities we go to. But again, these coordinators are not transgender, they're cisgender. And I recently found out that the training that they do is just very, very basic. It doesn't cover even close to the amount of shit that happens to us around the VAs nationwide. The being misgendered, being clocked in a goddamn waiting room because of names and pronouns and all this other stuff. They're not, the training that they do doesn't touch any of that kind of stuff. So, with this, I'm going to be able to put a plug in for things like this. That they need to, if they're going to have that training, they need to intensify that training, and they need to have multiple trainings. Yes, they need the basic understanding of what a transgender person is, but they also need to understand HIPAA laws, and that there are some places within the healthcare industry that does not have a need to know. For instance, I get testosterone shots every week. Not everybody needs to know why I get them. But it's kind of late in the game for that. Except with new employees that come in. They do not have a need to know why I show up every week. It's none of their fucking business unless they're giving me the shot or they're prescribing the shot. My PCP and the nurses are the only ones that need to know. The front desk office don't need to know. There's all sorts of people around there that don't need to know, unless I'm having a procedure that has something to do with my body, my genitals, or, that's it. My endo doctor, my PCP, the nurses, they know. Nobody else needs to know unless I'm having surgery of some variety, some sort, or I, still have to see a gynecologist. I still have to have mammograms. Those kind of people need to know. But, when I go to the lobby to check in for appointments, why do those people in the front need to know? But I'm going to be able to push things like that with being part of the intern training, because one of them is going to be my therapist on her way out, and the other one is an LGBT coordinator. So this is going to be fun. As far as I'm concerned, I'm going to be able to add a flavor to this that I'm sure none of them expected. Because the woman that invited me to do this told me, when you show up to talk with these interns, don't hold back. And I was like, oh my God, you did not just ask me to do that. When do I ever hold back? I say what's on my mind. I don't hold back nothing. So her giving me that green light means I get to be myself. I get to tell them exactly what I think about about being a trans man and the LGBT community, which is all fucking stupid right now. You got all this division and infighting going on, and people inside of the community trying to ignore other people inside of the community, and then you got the white transgender community pulling their privilege crap number on the black transgender community, and it's just a hot mess on the back of the stove. But I'm going to be able to interject those kinds of things into the training of doctors who volunteer to who are volunteering to be trained about who transgender people are, in case they have any show up at wherever they're going to end up working as doctors. So this is just I'm bubbling over with excitement, because I can't believe sometimes how God has used me all of my life. Oh, I'm going to make another video, but it's not going to be on this channel, to give an update about where my book is at. But I wanted to jump on here, and this is not going to be a long video. I need to hit the sack. This seminar goes from early morning until late at night, so I got to get my butt in bed. But I just wanted to jump in here and say some things. I was actually going to make a completely different video talking about the Christian 7 deadly sins, but I'll have to do that after the seminar. And there was something else I was gonna talk about, but shoot, that I can't remember. But my plate is full, and things are definitely changing in my life. I feel like I'm on another growth path. In Alcoholics Anonymous, they talked about 2 different kinds of growth with human beings. One being the slow educational variety type growth. And then other people experience growth in very, very fast spurts. In other words, they plateau for a while, and then boom, something happens and they grow. And then some people, they don't grow at all. This is all because of the work that you do inside of the program that you grow. It isn't just sitting there thinking up how to change your life, how to change your emotions, how to change your thinking, how to change anything. I heard this once, and it made me laugh when I first heard it, which is because I was trying to tell my sponsor, one of my sponsors, something, and they said, you know what, you need to sit down. Your best shot in life and thinking got you right where you are. And I was like, oh, at first it hurt my feelings. It was like, well, damn. Talk about instant humility, being humble. Yeah, my best shot at thinking got me so screwed up, I ended up in AA. And this, you don't have to end up as an alcoholic or a drug addict to hit a point in your life where you realize your best shot at working it out by yourself still has you right where you were 10 years ago, or 20 years ago, or 30 years ago. That your best shot at thinking your way through to changing your life circumstances has you stuck. When that happens, what I was taught was you got to get stuff from outside of your fucking head to put it in your head. See, it isn't going to come from your head. It's going to be something that comes from outside, be it God, be it studying, be it therapy, be it research, be it a forum, be it whatever. I have done a gazillion things in my life to ensure that that didn't happen anymore. That it wasn't about me sitting there going, I wonder how I can change this situation and end up changing it about that much. You know, take one step forward and 3 steps back. See, I'm not about that life. I don't want to live like that. I don't want to be stuck in any one mode of thinking, even though my therapist likes to say that I'm rigid. You know, I'm rigid in my beliefs or something to that nature. Well, she's going to find out, because she's going to see another side of me when we start training these interns, that I'm not as rigid as I appear. It's just there's certain things that she wanted me to do that I didn't want to do. And because of that, or certain ways of thinking about society and thinking about the times and thinking about everything that's going on, the conclusions or the decisions or the speculations that I make about what's going on could be improved or changed or whatever, like that. But I do more changing. I have done more changing in my life than the average person does, because I am more open. And everything she ever told me, the minute I left, as I was going down the elevator and getting in my car, I was thinking about it. You know, and because it was stuff that didn't come from my head, it came from hers. And she was the professional. So I would take the things that she would say and I'd think about it, and I'd write about it, and I'd talk about it, and I'd make decisions based on it. See, and I'd do things based on the stuff that she said. I mean, she literally pushed me into getting closer to my best friend. Because I didn't want to, I was scared. Typically, my best friends are always female. And I didn't want to, intimate partners, not any other kind of friend. And I would get to a certain point with people and then I would just stop. And she literally pushed me to call him, to ask him to go out, to hang out with him, and all this stuff. So, and I did. It was hard, and I didn't want to, but I knew she had my back. I knew she had my best interest at heart. She didn't do it for herself. She didn't do, we didn't have a relationship outside of that building. So everything she told me to do, I knew she was telling me for my own good. So the last thing I'm going to say is actually something that I'm going to relearn this weekend that comes out of that seminar. which is once you realize your past is just a story. I'll say that again. Once you realize your past is just a story. It's just a story. It's not happening in the now. It's a story in the past. It no longer has any power over you. There's a lot of sayings that come out of that seminar, but that one right there was the one that the first time I did it in 1989 changed my life. Because I believed I was my past. Now, to a certain degree, yeah, there's a lot of things in my past that make me me. But I also get to redefine myself every day. I get to recreate myself anytime I want to recreate myself in terms of my mentality. You know, not certain things are never going to change about me, but emotionally and mentally, I can always recreate myself to who. I'm going to say something that comes out of the more advanced seminars of Landmark, but that I am the future that calls to me. I am not the past that's chasing me. Okay? I am not the past that I'm stuck in. I am a future that calls to me. And you have to be in a certain place in your mentality to actually hear the future calling you versus your past hankering you down or chasing you. So I'm going to get to relearn all that stuff in 12 hours. And I'm so excited. I'm about ready to just jump out of my fucking skin. It's like, oh. So I hope everybody has an absolute wonderful weekend. I know I'm going to have a whole bunch to say after I get back. But, you know, have a blessed one. Make it a great day. Make it a great night. And make it a great weekend. And as you can see, because of some of the stuff I'm doing, these lines are starting to not be so pronounced on my forehead. So I know that all that was stress. And I'm getting ready to do something that's going to take a lot of stress off. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, everybody have a good one. And the pollinator is out. Peace.